I'll tell you. Um, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've learned so far using this loop pedal, putting in tracks, because I'm going to be using this basically as something to play my backing tracks. However, there are part of the loop pedal I'm going to actually use as a loop pedal. And but for this particular live stream, I'm doing this as a live stream because it's going to be posted up so much quicker. And I did do this as individual videos on my Zoom Q8 camera. I just have to see how that came out before I could load it up. But anyways, what we're going to do here is what I did. I had put tracks on here that I have saved that are going to be like backing tracks here. And I have this as what's known as a one shot. So when I hit this play, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, here. Sorry about that. Uh-oh, what did I do? Okay, something happened here. What's going on? Look at this. Oh, hold on, hold on. I got to do something here. I got to take that off. That's what happened. I'm going to talk about this when you hook up foot switches, okay? And we're going to do this here. Get back to this. Okay, something's going on. And it's going on as a live stream, you see? Okay. There's a lot of functions in this thing, as you can tell. And as you... Okay, so here we go. All right. So it wasn't doing this. What happened was I put these in. See, this is what I mean with this stuff. You got to understand it. Okay. It's not doing what I want it to do. Okay. Okay, come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. See, I had that saved, and I think I knocked it out of... I might have deleted that save, that function. Yeah, this is kind of tough, man, but don't worry. So basically, I have it set up where you play it, and it'll stop if you hit it again. But what I want to do right now is I'm going to record a track into one of the memory slots, and we're going to do this. And how I'm going to have this set, I'm not going to save this as a one shot. This particular memory slot is going to be a continuous loop, where the other ones, I think I still have it as a one shot. I'll double check that. But here's how this thing works. So you hit this once to record. I'm going to go ahead. Because I got it. What do I have? Oh, I see what I did. Okay, I got to do this because I got to record into it. Okay, here we go. Let's see. When you record, it's going to light up red. Okay. Now, when you hit play, it's going to light up green. If I want to overdub, which I don't want to, it'll light up yellow. Now, this should be a continuous loop. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. And I'm going to stop it. Now, I want to save this in memory slot number 20. To do this, these two little buttons right here, Underneath there, it'll say right. You have to hit these two at the same time. It'll go into right mode. I don't know if you could see that. But this knob right here, not only is it a jog wheel that turns left and right, you also push it into this. In this case, I'm going to save it. There's a little arrow down here that if you push this, turn the knob, it'll go up or down. But it's it's facing the right. So what I'm going to do is hit this twice. All right, now it's executing. It's going to save it to that memory slot. So let's check it out. Now, I want to make sure it's going to be a continuous loop. Boom, there it is. Okay, now to make sure it's saved, right now the screen is kind of highlighted more of a whiter background. If I do that, it's a darker blue, meaning that's an empty memory. So I'm going to go back to number 20. Okay, and there it is. Now, make sure it's saved. Make sure it's going to do a continuous loop. Boom, continuous loop. Now, if I want to erase this, again, you go into here. Nope, I'm sorry, you got to hit twice. You got to bank. Okay, you got to hit these two twice at the same time. Now, if I do this, it'll say clear. We're going to go ahead and do this. Want to clear it? Yep. Executing. Now, again, we have nothing on that track. I was trying to find where it would delete, but I guess it's right into that function. It'll just say clear. Now, that's not global. Your setup, this button right here, that part is global. The memory isn't. And in certain situations where you have some tracks that are on different memory slots that you do not want to erase, that's what's really cool with this pedal that I'm finding out. It'll only do per memory slot. The same thing with the volume. If I hit here without touching any buttons here, it'll say loop level. And you can bring this up or down. By default, it comes at 100. It goes from 0 to 200. If that track was too loud, I could bring this down, and then I could save that, and it'll save it to that level, which is really cool because when you're playing gigs and you're going to do either you got a song that's in multiple sections. So let's say memory slot number 20 through 23. You have one song, but you have it broken down into different parts. And if you need a consistent volume, but as you're recording each part of the song, maybe in between recording you need to take a break or something and you need to adjust the volumes and you forgot you adjust the volumes. Now, let's say memory 22 is a little bit louder than 21, but number 23 is softer than all of them, and you saved everything, and you or you don't want to go through the hassle of re-recording everything, you could go in with this function and you could have each level, you could adjust each level accordingly so that when you play it across the board, it's going to be a nice, even volume. Or if you have different tracks like what I've been experiencing with my other loop pedal, sometimes one track will be louder than another. And I got to, bend over and turn the knob, and it becomes a hassle. This, you can lock it in, which I think is great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to re-record that again. I'm going to lock it into the loop, and I'm going to show you how to name it. So here we go. We're going to go ahead. Sorry, I did that screen here. Here we go. We're going to play it again. We're going to record it and then go through the whole process. Hey, Ian's Guitar Shack, what's happened? See, now my phone's working where I can see who's on and who isn't. Okay. Again, the screen lights up red as it's recording. Now, it's in play mode. It's lighting up green. I want to make sure this is be a continuous loop because the loop itself is a short loop. but the song is very repetitive, so I could add different parts in and out on this little groove here. Okay, nice. Okay, and I do have this set as a play and stop. That's global. All right, so now I'm going to get into not only saving this, but now naming. So before I save everything, okay, and naming. So now I'm going to hit this button right here, push it in. Okay, now the letters are highlighted underneath here. So you turn the jog wheel, and I'm going to call sneaking around. Miss Sonia, what's happening? Thank you for tuning in. So now we return this. The little ledger line is underneath the letter M. So I mean you could, oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. It means you got to push this button and that highlights. Now I could change this. You know, turning it to the right, it goes up in increments, turn it down, goes back. Okay, now right there, save that S. Now you turn the wheel. Now I'm going to go to the next letter, hit that, and do this, do that, come here. Next one. Back. Okay, I might just leave it with that Y there. And sometimes, you know, you only have so much space here. So when I have to consolidate, this is what I do. Now where that number 20 is, see, I could do this. I go back, and I'm going to use this as uppercase, so that would kind of separate the two words. Now, before your uppercase letter A, if you needed to put a space, that's where you're going to find it, just before your uppercase lettering, blank space. But here, we're going to go to our lowercase letters. Once you get used to this, it becomes pretty simple. Wait a minute. There. I have just enough to put the D in there. Okay, now, got my name. Now I'm going to hit these two buttons at the same time. Take me to right, hit that twice. To write it, to execute the writing, after you hit these two buttons, this jog wheel, you push it in twice. And actually, this came up. Now, sneaking, ing, but, you know, sneaking around. So I got what I needed. So now I got my loop named. I got it saved. I have it as a one continuous loop. Because in this situation, I want it to be a continuous loop. Okay. Now, here's something that to keep in mind. If you have a loop that already has a glitch and you're transferring one loop to another, and you cannot fix that slight little glitch, keep in mind when you're playing to this, your live performance, in my situation, playing guitar, any note that I'm playing, that I'm sustaining doing a lead line, a melody, whatever the case, it's going to be over ringing that slight little glitch. So I'm not saying go ahead and have glitches, but my point is that, you know, doing it this way, I don't have it hooked up to the computer. I'm doing it old school way. And that works for me. Everybody is different. I understand that. So this is one way that you could do this, especially when you got the time, where you just take the time, and if it's easy on your mind. I always like to do things that's easy on my mind. I got enough that's going on. I don't need to complicate things anymore. Okay, so now, since at the beginning of this live stream, something happened. What it was, I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking about upgrading to the RC5. I'll tell you what, so far, we had just got this pedal a few days ago because my Jam Man stereo looper, those metal switches, here, I'll give you an example of the metal switches. These, when you get dirt in here, make sure you clean these out. But it's not just the dirt, some down from your shoes, also the sand. I know they make little rubber caps you could put on here. But another thing I'm noticing is the salt that gets in the air from the salt water. It takes a course of time for it to do little damage to these things, but it does. And this one doesn't really click. The Jam Man stereo clicks. I don't know if you hear that. That's the issue. So with this, yeah, corrosion, exactly. It'll start to corrode it. And you know what, Miss Sonia? I'd never realized that until it was the early 2000s when we were coming down here to visit, and we were coming up to the Clearwater area from Chicago, from the Chicagoland area. Come down. Deb's mom and dads were snowbirds. You know, they travel in their RV, come down Florida in the winter time. So we come down here in spring, and I do know that one of the restaurants, of course, it's on the waterfront there, and they had the nice dock. You know, you go out on the dock and check out the scenery. Well, they had a band set up. The band wasn't playing; they left their gear set up, and the guy had small marked corner cabinets. You know. Well, what happened was I noticed they were all deteriorated. And my wife said, "You know where that's from?" She said, "That's from the salt water. It corroded over a course of time. This is what happens." So when you're playing at these places, this is over a course of time. After the fact that you got dirt on your feet, or if the wind is blowing any sand, you know, this is what happens. And this, and in one of my gigs, it did that. I'm like, oh crap! So I had to be real quick. So getting, but that's the reason why I'm switches, because of the area that I live in. I got to. Okay. So now, let me go to one of the. I've saved here that might be a shorter duration. Let's see. I know what I could do. Thrill ride. Let's see. Okay. So now if I want to bring that volume up, push this. I could do this while it's playing. Oh, it's at 107. Good. Just play it saved. I might have accidentally put one of these. I think I accidentally activated something. And again, it'll light up green as it's playing. And now before I go and hook up my FS5 foot switch, I'm just going to go through some of the parameters. I'm not going to play the whole tracks. Just want to see. Chances are, if this does everything I had it locked into, then everything else will be locked into how I had it saved. But this you get for like $199, and if you have the Boss pedal cases, you don't need the adapter. Plus, it will come with a battery. I don't know how much life you get on the battery. They always put a cheaper battery in there, but it does come with a battery. If you need to use a battery, if you're doing an outdoor gig, that's what's so cool about these with the Boss products. And I think Zoom also has that, where you could get either 9 volts or AA batteries. You don't need anything special, because when it comes down to gigging and making money with your gigs, you got to kind of think your situation. And I've been in situations, Deb and I have been in situations where if we did not have battery powered, amps, the Roland BR330 PA speaker, or the little, which I'm plugged into right now, the Roland KC 110 stereo, it'll run on AA batteries. The gigs that we had set, we wouldn't have been able to do them, because especially anything high-end, corporate, any type of functional. Let's see. All right, it did it as a one-stop. Good. But getting back to the battery operated stuff, if you could do anything where it's high-end, corporate gig, special event, a wedding, whatever the case, and they're going to have you an exclusive set. And if you don't have any power, you got to think this out. You're not going to get that gig. And these are the gigs that are going to pay you some money. So just think about that. Everyone's different. I understand. Okay, so I'm just going to go through each one. Okay, this side, you can do fade ins and fade outs in here, but I actually turned the knob to fade this in and fade it out. That's before I knew I could do the fade in and fade out. I'm gonna let this play a little bit when I get into the heavier section. And then we're gonna get ready to hook these up. I just fade it out. And it has one continuous loop. And this will be like if you're doing it in 4 bars or whatever, but down here, it's actually telling you how long your loop is. So you can kind of gauge where you're at in your performance. Now again, that little glitch right there is when I was pulling the pedal off as I was recording it. However, as I'm going to perform over this, I'm going to have the other guitar sustain over that. So there's little tricks you could do, especially when time is tight. Okay, that did what I wanted to do. Okay. Okay. The drums are not from here on these tracks. They're from the little Beat Buddy Mini 2. This does have drum patterns, though. I'll probably have to do a separate video for that. Oh, what I want to do is this. Go back to... And yeah, see it locked back into 107. That's why when I did my volume right there. So yeah, it saves it. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure I got everything. And a lot of these are my originals. And what I try to do is have them in sections of 10s for the various styles. And as I start to get into one style, it kind of like morphs into another. As you get into more of the fusion, jazzier stuff. Okay. Okay, so now these other tracks, I'll be putting some more stuff in there. That's why I wanted to put this track in number 20, because from 20 on to 29 will be stuff that's more in this style. And now again, I'm going to test this to make sure that this is going to do a continuous loop. Because your one-stop function, you could do that in your memory. I'll show you where. I'm not gonna call it to that, but I'll show you what it is. Okay, good. We got that. So now I think if we do this, we do the loop. We go up here. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Here, reverse. Okay, one shot. That's what that is. Right now it's off. If I brought this down and turned the jog wheel to turn it on and saved it, now that loop will only play that one time and it'll stop. But I don't want that. And then to get out, make sure. I'm going to play it again, make sure I didn't accidentally do something. Now we should have one continuous loop. Yep. Until when I hit the foot switch, boom, that'll stop it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do to be on the safe side, I'm going to turn the jog wheel here to, I'm going to go all the way up to number 30 because I know I got absolutely nothing on here. Now I'm going to connect this. This is my old FS5. I got 2 of these. You could use the FS5, 5 foot switch, the FS6. See, these are separate. The FS6 or the FS7. The FS7, which is nice because it has the 2 switches up on one on top of the other. But that'll need batteries because of the way the lights are. I think the FS6, if you want to use where you can see the little LED light that's on that foot switch, you got to slap a battery. This does not require batteries. And this is easy to understand. See these little switches? Have them facing the output. So you got to turn, I guess it's a polarity. You got to turn it because I'm using 2 of these together. They're both facing here. Now, this should work, but you know with my luck how things are. This is I got this a long time ago. This. And let's see, what is it? Cable, okay. Okay, send, return. We will find out. Use it for foot switches. It has this type of a tip. So we're going to plug these pedals in, and what I'm going to do is set this up so that when I hit my switch, I can go either up the parameter or down the parameter. Plug it in here. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so now I have to go into different function. Setup, if I remember. We have general. What we want to do? We want control. That's what we want. And I think we go up here. Pedal function. And this is what I want to do. Let's see. I want to make sure I got a control number 1. I already turned that for memory increase. So we're going to come down here. Control foot switch 1, because it's not going to be this. It's going to be these 2. I have that set for memory increase, which means when I hit one of these switch, I'm going to go up the parameter. I'll come back up here. Let's go to control function 2. Memory decrease. Okay. So let's hope for the best and expect the worst, right? Now that's what I have it set up for. Now, if I want to dedicate it to that, I should be able to do this. Okay, well, I might do writing. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, good. That's decrease. Okay, so my foot switch on the left is going to be decreasing. Okay, we're going to do this. Play sneaking around. We're going to test this to make sure this is going to be fine. Okay, good. So I'm done playing the song. Now I want to come back up. Okay, good. The foot switch on the right will go up. Okay, let's do this. right. So far, so good, right? Maybe I can move this so you can see what's going on. Those switches. Yeah. Hey, Dwight Bailey, what is happening? Man, what's happening? What is going on, guys? Okay, so we're good there. Now I want to go back up. So now this is set to go up, and that should change. Yep, there we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do to test everything, because I always have to double check, I'm going to take this back to 30, unplug this. Yeah, okay. It should save those global memory is to be per memory slot, and it's going to be real important because if you accidentally get into the setup and you hit clear, it might clear all your loops. So just keep that in mind. And let's see what happens. Let's see. There you go. And to confirm that that's saved, we're going to turn this off. And how this works is just because I'm not going to put anything in there now. So now at the end of the day, we're going home. I don't have to chase money. Very, very unfortunate. When we do the high-end gigs, we get paid. We really don't want any scanning business or anything like that. But when those musicians, we do it one-on-one. We do not. I've done. It's what they've done. They pay the people, man. Yeah, my internet is sketchy. Yeah, see, man, I apologize about this. I'm gonna tell anyone. I have a friend, YouTube friend that's up in Mike Lipinski, he lives up in the Bradenton area. Jason Stallworth, he lives up in the Bradenton area by Tampa, and it's more of a big city. But down here in Fort Myers area, this is like what they call old Florida, and sometimes our signal does not connect. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people down here, they don't want social media. They just don't like it. They want to get away from all of it. So, you're kind of up against a rock and a hard place. So I apologize about that. So let's go ahead. We're going to plug this back into our control function, Jack. Let's see what happens, Jack. There we go. It's increasing and decreasing. So it does save as global. Thank God for that. Okay, so here I'm going to show you another thing I've learned pertaining to the rhythm section. I'm not going to get too deep into this because I still have to learn about this. Make sure I got my little amp here, not too loud. But this does have drum functions. Built-in drums. Now, what do we do here? We go to on and off. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Now, it's calling for the loop. Okay. So, this is interesting because how I have this saved globally as a start-stop function. So that means if I want to do a loop, it'll play my loop. Okay, it'll play it now. That's because I didn't do this. Let's see what happens if I do this. Go to another. Okay. Now I'm in a different memory, so it took me out of my my rhythm here. Okay. Light up red is recording. Okay. Now it's play. I might have hit it twice by mistake. By default, to stop this, you have to press this twice. However, you can get into the functions where if you press it once, it'll play. Press again, it'll stop. In this situation, you press it once, it records. Press it again, it plays. And press it again and it stops. So, what do we do here now? I think there is a way we get into the memory. So, I think what we have to do here, we might have to hit these two together to get into this function tempo. Okay. So, I'm gonna go come here. Oh, let's change the tempo. Maybe I have to clear this. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so let's come back up here. Actually, let's try this. Tempo. Nope. Huh, okay. Maybe I have to do a little more reading up on this. Because there is a way. Okay. There is a way that you could get into this thing and call in for the different drum functions. Maybe it's the setup. Maybe that's what I have to do. Let's try this. That's a different thing. So maybe I have to do this. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay. Well, I'll do a little more research before I do a video because again, I just learned a little bit about that. But there is a way you could get into here and you could set up the rhythm section to what's called before you record and then at the end of record. If you do it before record, when you hit the switch, it'll play the drums and it won't record anything until you hit the switch again. Then you can record your loop against the drums, and then when you hit the switch again, it'll just go into play, which is kind of cool because then you're starting your drums and then hitting again to record again. Now you can activate your loop. When you're done with that, you hit it again. Now it's in play. And once you're in play mode, then if you hit it again, if you have it set up the way I have it set up, you hit that switch again, then it'll stop everything. If it's at what they call rhythm end, at the end of recording, what this does is you record a loop and you're playing your guitar and it's looping your guitar. Then when you hit the switch again, it activates the drums and it has those drums in sync with your rhythm. That seems to be pretty cool as well. But again, I have to get into more working on that. Turn the memory loop level knob to select right and press the memory loop. Okay. Oh, I see. Maybe you're answering questions. Yeah. Yeah. See, I tell you, Ephraim, this is what's going on with this whole internet thing. I mean, it gets saturated. Yeah, I've said this a lot of times before. People of our generation, when things got released to the public, it's because it went through quality control. It made sure it was going to function. It made sure it was going to work the way it was. And if it didn't, that was like maybe one faulty unit. Using this as an example, that's not a faulty unit. But my point I'm meaning is that it was not half-assed put together, thrown out to the public, and then, oh, we don't have an instruction manual, you figure it out. Well, no, you're the company that is making all this. Why don't you finalize everything, go through quality control before you release it to the public? See, then there's not problems. Then if you need to go to 2.0, then you could send all the emails out or send it globally on, let's say, for instance, on YouTube. Global message for anybody first time or your 1 millionth time getting on YouTube. Read this. We got to update to 2.0. Be very clear with your instructions. This is not rocket science to do this. However, people are in such a hurry to half-ass put stuff together and throw it out to the public and then figure it out later. Could you imagine if your job was to do, let's say, hot water boilers where they could explode, right? And you learn it half-ass. What's going to happen? You stand a chance of something really serious happening and someone getting hurt, damage getting destroyed, or someone getting killed. You cannot half-ass that. So I guess my point is there was a time when people took pride in their work and they made sure it was working before they released it out. This gets released and it's like, well, I guess we'll figure it out later. How many times have everybody out there, no matter, I'm not going to name the names of whatever live streaming platform you are using, what company, whatever those are, and then you figure out, oh, something's not working right. I gotta go figure out. I gotta get into the settings. I gotta figure out. I gotta find this. I gotta look for this. Well, why didn't they provide that to you when you got this information? You see what I mean? Especially if you're buying it. That's the thing. Thank God we're not buying it, because I'll tell you what, the day they put a price on it, and if it's half-assed instructions, I'm not buying it, man. And if enough people will to do that, not buy it, you watch and see how fast these people lose money, and then they start changing their ways. Don't ever think that you as a consumer don't have any power, because you do. Because they need your money in order for their company to survive. Don't you ever forget that. Don't ever let anybody bully you, thinking, oh, okay, I guess I gotta go with the flow. I guess I'll this. I guess I'll do that. I guess. I do get a little bit upset about that, or should I just flat out say it, pissed off, when people try to take advantage of other people and make fools of them. That's when I pull away and say, you know what, you ain't making a fool of me, and you're not getting my money, goodbye, good luck, arrivederci. And if enough people were to do that, you watch and see how fast the turnaround starts to take place, because they're going to start to realize, we're losing business. I wonder why. Not real hard to put two and two together. Now, I know we're using the airwaves, and down here it's clouding up. I Google Gaga'd, the weather in Fort Myers, and yeah, we got a storm that's coming. Okay. Rain. No matter how bad it is, we don't know. And we are getting into the height of our hurricane season. So it's going to be a little rough as far as connection. We're hoping we're not going to have another rough hurricane season like last year. Because that was just, man. There are still companies that are fighting with insurance companies with their insurance to get things up and going. And that's a tough one there, man. So, see, when you're in that situation, everything else becomes irrelevant. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but seeing, enough people having problems with their connection, and, it's it's kind of really disappointing. And it's kind of laughable that these companies should know better, but yet they just do it anyway. Well, you know what? They got us all by the seat of our pants. I'm gonna be real nice. Okay, they don't have you by the seat of your pants. You got them by the seat of your pants because you don't have to use their service unless you want to. It's just a thought, my friends. It's just a thought. You'll find out how much power the consumer really has. Now, I'm not talking about people that are making problems and troubles. That's a totally different. The customer is not always right. When you got bad customers, those are the ones that are not always right, because they're the ones that are going to make trouble for you. Okay? But the ones who are right are the ones who are upfront, asking questions, and if you cannot give them an answer, just be honest. Just tell them you can't. How hard is this, right? It's not rocket science. It is not rocket science. Honesty does not take much of a brain. You need to be honest. And there's no shame in not knowing something, right? There's a lot of things I don't know. And I don't try to pretend, I have my limitations too. But I don't mean to go off on a tangent about this, but this is why I don't rely. This is why I would never quit any solid source of income for this. You know what I mean? I appreciate we have these social platforms, and I definitely appreciate all you guys. You're all my friends. It's not you. It's just this whole system. It doesn't work. It's half-ass. And everybody knows it. So there's no way in hell I'm going to walk away from solid sources of income just to sit here and try to figure all this out, and maybe someday they'll get it all up to par, and everything is like, okay, we're back on square one. Here we go. We're good to go. They will always be lagging behind. It's like a person who doesn't pass third grade math and now is in their high school years. It's going to take them a very long time to play catch up. And that's what it looks like. They take a long time to play catch up. I didn't mean to go on a tangent, my friends. I just had to let that out because you know. But getting back to the loop pedal, I will do a little bit more research on the rhythm section. There might be something else. I'll probably will do once I get the rhythm section figured out. I'll probably do like a live loop, so you could see. And how I'm using this is for the backing tracks, but because I can save like maybe the last 10 memories, because you have 99 memories. This thing will do 13 hours of looping. But if you only have 99 loops at 5 minutes, you just do the math. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. But what you can do is if you have, let's say you have 3 songs that are within the same style, and you always play those same 3 songs back to back in that order. Now what you could do is have, let's say, memory 28, play those 3 songs back to back in that order. Now, if each song is 5 minutes, now you just saved 15 minutes as far as memory is concerned. I know you're probably thinking, wow, why would I need all this? Trust me, when you do these gigs, they got you 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours, and it's like year after year, and now you got to update, you got to change your list. Now you're going to find out how fast you run out of memory. Now you're going to find out how fast you got to flip things around. You can hook this up to the computer. There's the video. I forget what the guys are called. People that are doing good demos on this, how to hook it up to the computer. But I just wanted to show that to you guys. How to create a loop, how to lock it in, and how to name it. And I don't know if I could do this. Let me take this to a blank loop. Maybe I could do it in setup. Yeah, general. If I push this. Okay, no. Yeah. Out of that. General. Loop. Rhythm. Name. Okay. So I'll do a little bit more investigating on it before I put any videos. But the main function is how to record and how to save. And I thought this was interesting with this. Going up and down. Yep, it still works. Again, it's saved as global. I want to make sure that works before I call it a day with the live stream. And again, to set your volume, okay, you push this jog wheel in, loop level. You can decrease it if it's too loud. Now, if I want to save it at 60, you have to get in here and write it, save it, and it'll save it at that. I want to just take this back up. Or let's see, I forget what one that was. That's at 100. That saved that, and I think so. And make sure it can go up. Yep. Okay, my friends. So I hope this helps everybody out there. Again, I will do more research on the rhythm and then doing a live looping with the rhythm and show you how that works. But again, I hope this helps. Nice little pedal, not that expensive, and it's just amazing how far these have come. We still have somewhere in here when the RC20 came out, and I want to say in 2004 the RC20XL guitar center. So, but anyways, I hope this has been helpful, and I'll keep you posted. We should be doing we got a gig on Saturday, this coming Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if we got anything in between, but I know if Saturday and Sunday we'll see, we live stream those and then get to see this thing in action. So anyways, my friends, I hope this has been helpful. I will keep you posted on another live stream demoing this. But until then, you stay strong, safe, and true, my friends. Rock on, and God bless. We love you all. Thank you for watching. Take care.